Uhuru comrades, it is an honor indeed to be here with you once again. As the chairman stated, we had a great session yesterday and we're going to have a greater session today even. So those of you who can spread the word, spread the word. I want to start off by, it's good to speak after the chairman, so when he starts talking about my God and my religion, I have a chance to come back after he sits down. So here's my comeback. I've been trying my best, comrades, to get the chairman to heaven. He is making it very difficult. He's making it very difficult, but I shall win. Just like we're gonna win the struggle, I'm gonna win them over. Because thank God that God checks your heart more than your head. So we know where your heart is. And on this day, very serious note, Resurrection Sunday, we're not talking about the Christianity that Europeans interpreted for us. We're talking about the Christianity of a Black revolutionary Messiah that we believe in, Jesus Christ. We're talking about the Jesus Christ that said, I come not to bring peace, but a sword of justice. So on this day, on behalf of my wife, Inez Barron, who will be speaking next, and on behalf of all of the members of the Shrines of the Black Madonna, which we're part of, and Reverend Herbert Daughtry, my pastor in New York, both institutions unwrapped the European contamination of Christianity and presented it in its African essence. We say, praise the Lord, and as they would say, pass the weapons of knowledge, the weapons of liberation. So on that, I thank you. To be here on Resurrection Sunday is significant because we indeed have to resurrect our people. And one of the ways to do that is through this electoral arena. You know, I saw a film in the 1960s called The Battle of Algiers. And on the top of the Kasbah was a revolutionary elder talking to a young revolutionary. And the young revolutionary said, Elder, talk to me about revolution. Talk to me about it. What is this thing? And the elder said, there are 4 stages. 1, you gotta light the fire. You gotta hit the spark of revolution. Get the people, the masses excited about it. You gotta light the fire, hit the spark. He said, that's the first stage. The second stage, he said, you gotta maintain the flame. After you get it lit, you gotta maintain the flame to keep it burning. And then the third stage, he said, which is a very difficult stage, he said, you gotta win. You're not just in it to light sparks and maintain flames, you got to win, which is a more challenging stage. And then the final stage, he said, is the most important stage. You gotta create a new society. You gotta create a new society. So that is gonna be a stage. So where are we? We're still trying to maintain that flame. There was a spark lit in the 60s, and we're trying to maintain the flame now because we will win and we will build a new society. Uhuru, uhuru, we will win. So I wanna focus on the electoral arena. You know, the chairman always talks about power being the great equalizer. By the way, I'll be speaking for 15 minutes. My wife is gonna speak for 15 after that, and I'll be talking more about the accomplishments in the electoral arena, and then my wife will come on and do how to win to make those accomplishments happen. But you know, what we have to talk about is power. Power is the great equalizer. We don't care, at least I don't care whether you like me or not, or whether you're a racist and you hate me. As long as you have no power over me and the institutions in my community, I could care less what you think. Power. In the 60s, we said black power, black power. We did the black, put on our dashikis, had our theories, and we did the black, changed our names. We did Kwanzaa, you know, we did Black history. We did the black, but we didn't get the power. We didn't get the power. Now we must get the power. We have to get the power in our communities. And we know that we live in a colonial capitalist society, and every Black community is a domestic colony of that colonial capitalist system. So in these domestic colonies called Black communities, we are not in control of the land. We're not in control of the economic system. We're not in control of the political system, even if you have Black faces. And we have to control the means of production. That's what this strategy is all about, getting control. Even Martin Luther King said that we live in domestic colonies, and we must transfer the power from the white system to the people of what he called the so-called ghetto of the domestic colonies of America. That's Martin Luther King. That's what he said. So when we get into this electoral arena, that's what I looked at. I said, okay, how can we get some power? See, it's one thing to organize around singular issues. You know, we go from issue to issue, even if it's legitimate issues, police brutality, you know, organizing against homelessness. That's all we're concerned about. We have to do that. But unless you connect that to a broader struggle for power, self-determination, and systemic radical changing of the system, then you'll be going in circles. So that's what our participation in the electoral arena is all about. So in East New York, we said, we're going to get involved in the electoral arena. And you know what's interesting, when you get involved in the electoral arena and you have an ideological foundation, it's going to be challenged in this arena. So you have to balance between political principles and political pragmatism. And sometimes pragmatism is a fine line between selling out. So you can say, hey, the lesser two evils are going to be pragmatic. Hey, I can't get everything. This is what they always say to Charles, you can't have everything. And politics is the art of compromise. It's also the art of selling out. So you have to make that distinction between when people are selling out and when people are just politically, strategically doing things because we understand the limitations of the electoral arena. They're very, very strong limitations. We will not be voting our way to freedom. It's not going to happen. But there's a lot of things we can do inside this arena to bring some relief to our people and to raise political revolutionary consciousness in the process. You know, every time, even if I do constituent services for our people, and this is like basic things, save them from losing their homes, getting them jobs, making sure a landlord is not disrespecting them, making sure that the local stuff that's going on, that we have access in our office to help them. Even when we do that, we also say, now that we've done all of that, because they say, Charles, you know, I know you're a Black radical and you're in the 60s and you're talking revolution, but you're gonna give me a job? And I can say, yeah, I brought in 6,000 jobs to the neighborhood. Now you're gonna be a revolutionary? Now that I got you a job? Oh yeah, Charles, you know, yeah, you're a revolutionary, but you're gonna save my house? Yes. We saved over 100 houses who were in foreclosure. You're gonna be revolutionary now? Hey, Charles, I need some food on my table. Y'all talking revolution, I gotta eat. Yeah, well, I funded thousands of dollars for food pantries in the district. I can show you where to go to get the food. Now you're gonna be a revolutionary? We have to connect. That's what's so powerful about the Black Panther Party. They connected the needs of the people, meeting the needs of the people, over 60 programs, free breakfast, free healthcare, all kinds of stuff. But they also had the revolutionary ideology to raise the consciousness of our people. So I want to talk about our successes. I gave out this, and if we could put up this brochure some kind of way, just to show some of the things that we've done. And this brochure here, in case you can't put it up, is it up? Oh, okay. Now you're gonna see in having the power in the city council, I'll just talk, when it comes up, you'll see it. Having the power in the city council determines what's gonna be built on city-owned land. So even if it's a billionaire developer comes into my district, and even if he knows the mayor and has $1 billion, if he wants to build a housing on land that's owned by the city in my district, he has to see the Black Panther. Whether he likes it or not, he has to see the Black Panther. This is the brochure I'm talking about. See these pieces up here where it says Alafia Village, 2,600 units of housing coming into my neighborhood at the AMI, the area median income to my neighborhood. That's how they gentrify you. They have what they call the area median income. So what they'll do is say, we're gonna build affordable housing, and they define it. In New York City, the New York City area median income is $120,000 for a family of 3. 80% of that, which is HUD says is affordable, is $90,000 for a family of 3. So I asked the developer, do you know my neighborhood AMI? He said, no. I said, you just insulted my intelligence. Do I have stupid written on my forehead? You can't come in my neighborhood talking about you building affordable housing for the people in my neighborhood, and you don't even know the area median income of my neighborhood. Well, my area median income is $36,000 for a family of 3. So we're not building that. We're not building that because I have the power to say no. And if I say no, the local committee of the city council that has to do the rezoning is going to say no as well. And so we made them build 50% of the units are going to be those making 40,000 or less. Another 20% of the units are going to be those making 50,000 and 60,000. This is a 100% affordable project. Let's give it up for East New York, 100% affordability. Lafayette Village, and they wanted to have it to be something gardens. I said, no, we want a Lafayette Village. We even put the name in there because they had some corny gardens. They were saying garden something, you know. So I want to end my presentation with a clip that I want to show y'all the accomplishments, housing, new libraries, new schools, 3 new $80 million schools. I want to show all those accomplishments so that you see, my wife will show you how to beat the machine and what you can do after you beat the machine. And we did all of this, maintaining our radical edge, making sure that we took on the governor, took on the mayor. Our position is that we kiss no part of the anatomy we ought not be kissing. We will kick it before we kiss it. So that's how you do it. I also want to close out after I show the tape that I wrote a book, and I put this is like if they could put the book up. This is like 70, 80 articles that I've written from 1988 to the present, and in it we have how to beat the machine in here. I have a lot of quotes from the chairman in here. I have an article on revolution, radical politics, and there you go. And you can get it on Barnes & Noble online, on Barnes & Noble, it's not Amazon, but on Barnes & Noble online, a lot of good articles in there. So I'm gonna end it, my wife is gonna come next, but I wanna end it with the tape on Charles Barron legacy. This is some of the things that you'll see that we actually have done and accomplished. And I could spend 2 days of this conference talking about the accomplishments. The chairman came with Penny Hess and others to the neighborhood. He saw it for himself. We showed him a community youth center that cost $20 million to build. And we told the developer, we're not signing on to your housing development project unless you build a youth center. See, housing is where the money is. He can't make no money building a youth center. So we made him do that, and Man Up Inc., A.T. Mitchell, they run the center, and after 30 years, y'all, we're gonna own the center for $1. And that's all in the makings. So I'll close it with the tape, Charles Barron Legacy. Who will come, right?